Alright, everybody, so we are starting up a Madden franchise while we wait for MLB The Show, um, even though the season's about over. We are going to be doing all Madden, playing every down, and we're going to be using sliders this time, which is something we traditionally don't do because I feel like it's kind of like a cat and mouse game a little bit. There's an update, sliders change, you might have a game or two that gets messed up, but I'm gonna really give it a try because all pro, um, I could easily score 50, 60, 70 points. Um, all Madden is just a cheat code for the computer controlled teams. So um, yeah, there's just I need to find like a balance between the two. So we're actually doing all Madden, but we're using custom sliders. We're using, I believe they're Mat 10s sliders. So general consensus were that those were some of the better ones. So we're going to give them a try so you can see just a kind of a quick overview. Interceptions are down, which is good. QB accuracy for the CPU is down, which is good. Pass blocking is down. So some of these changes make a lot of sense. Um, Field goal accuracy is down. And then, of course, penalties being turned up so that we get some realistic penalties. So, oh, and another thing, let's see, I'm using the time settings that he recommended as well. So 11-minute quarters, accelerated clock to 15 seconds. I'm a little worried that my games might be too high scoring. I don't, this is kind of a me problem, I don't run um, a realistic offense, I guess. I'm used to, playing the 6-minute quarters with the accelerated clock, so I pass a lot. I throw a lot of deep balls. I'm still worried that I might have games where the scores are, you know, 40, 50 to, 30 or something. I'm afraid that'll still happen. So, but we'll see. Um, so real quick, looking at the roster, I'm trying to keep it pretty much to the Bengals base roster. Not make any big changes this first year, and then the off season we of course will. Um, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Actually, I don't think I've signed any free agents that aren't on the practice squad. So I'll just go through these real briefly, and then we will. Oh, actually, I see one thing we need to change because Jonah is a right tackle now. Okay, there we go. Just kind of talking out loud here, one thing I think I'm gonna do as far as like, I mean, if Sam Hubbard has, an amazing year, we'll reconsider. But probably something we'll look to do in the off season is release or trade Sam Hubbard, make room for Miles Murphy. We also have a couple other good young defensive ends, Cam Sample, Joseph Osai, to pair with Trey Hendrickson. So that's something that we're looking to do. We're gonna have to figure out what to do with Higgins, Reeder. We don't really care about left outside linebacker. The Bengals don't really use that position. We do need some guys there because it does get some snaps, but not a lot. Corner, we're gonna have to figure out. Awuzie probably is gonna walk because we can't afford him, Reeder, Higgins, and to give Chase an extension next year. I'd rather have Awuzie or Reeder than Awuzie. So, but you want 3 guys. Well, you want 4 guys, but we got 3 right here. That next year I think between Hilton, Taylor Britt, and Turner can be pretty good. So you sign a mid 70s, high 70s free agent corner, and I think that's a decent cornerback room. Safety, we'll have to continue to see what Dax Hill does. He's not been great. He's not been bad. Battle, good young safety. Excited about him. Kicker, of course, we're set. Punter, probably we'll see how Brad Robbins does this year, but probably going to be looking to get a new punter as well. So, all right, so that is our roster. Oh, practice squad. So I like to try to keep kind of a diverse practice squad and like some guys that we would look to retain for next year and move them into give them actual 53-man roster spots. So Aaron Robinson, good corner, a little old, but 71. We have another one, Kelvin Joseph, also played at Kentucky. Davis Price, real good shot to make the team next year, as well as Rogers. Some depth there at linebacker, defensive tackle, which we need all the help we can get. Alex Leatherwood, I was really surprised to see him on to be practice squad eligible. I just remember when he was a really big deal. I remember the Bengals really wanted him, and I think maybe misdrafting him by a couple picks, which I guess has worked out. But that's just, I guess he's not panned out exactly the way that everyone hoped. More defensive tackle depth, some tight end depth, guard. Devin was already on the Bengals roster, so just for realism reasons, we're keeping him around, even though he's a 59, which isn't great. He's familiar with the offense and whatnot. And I like to keep a quarterback on the practice squad. So Anthony Brown was about the only good option. So hopefully he doesn't have to take a snap this year. If he does, we're in trouble. All right. Well, that is our intro video. So I will probably do another one. Not going to do one weekly. Well, I don't know, actually. That might be interesting. Might do little like YouTube shorts. Just, each week, like what's happened. So we might finish out this week and then move on to the next one. And I guess we could also take a look at prospects. So we are doing the auto-generated players. Let's just take a look at some of the positions we might need. Running back is not a huge need, but if we do let Mixon go in the off season, which I think is a real possibility in real life, so we'll also consider it. This is a position that we could be looking at, I would say, in the day 3 range. I really go a lot off physicals, so once we get combine and pro day information, we'll really dive into this and try to identify some guys that we're after. Wide receiver will be big. We might lose Higgins and Boyd, but at the very least we'll lose Boyd. So we're going to need to draft a receiver. I would love to finally get a good tight end for Burrow, whether that's through trade, free agency, or draft. So we'll be looking into that as well, which it looks like right now anyways. There's only really 2 tight ends that fit the bill. Joe Griffin's interesting though, because we're probably going to be picking in that round 1 to 2 space. Tackle could be big. We got quite a few top 5s there. Let's go to right tackle. Okay, so this is where we could probably really make our money. A lot of guys there in the round 1 to 2s and around 2 to 3, which of course that can all change, but that's the space we like to pick in. Defensive tackle possibly, so some more round 1 2s, so that's good. Corner maybe. So some options there, and scouts are set up really good. Let's see, one of these we really hit on, yeah, in the central there. So we got wide receiver, defensive end, tackle, defensive tackle, outside linebacker, corner, and safety being scouted with the bonus. So, and I believe I've also got a scout on tight end. So, all right. And as far as our strategy goes, we have set up to defend the medium pass against Cleveland, and we're going to throw it deep on offense. So we have a goal when my coach met with the press to hold them, I think it was maybe under 200 yards passing. So that's the goal. So we're going to try to do that, and then of course get the win. So, all right. Well, we will do an update video once we're in the next week, and we'll go over the game plan against Baltimore.